Commander-in-Chief, in an Oval Office meeting, referring to people from African countries and Haitians with the most vile and vulgar language.
When he said vile and vulgar, was he talking about the country or black people? Did he say black people were vile and vulgar? No, I don't think so. He said Haiti as a country, and some of those countries that they're actually shitting in the street some places because there's no infrastructure, there's no sewage. It's actually a shithole. Some of those countries they're actually shitting outside because there's no toilets. There's money. They're making what, $22 a year? The life expectancy is less than 10 years. 10 years less than ours. Disease is rampant. I mean, there's like some of those countries he was talking about, AIDS among heterosexuals is up to 30%. So they are shithole countries. If he went to some little hick trailer park and they were living that badly, it's a shithole place. It doesn't mean the people are. It's not offensive, but you're making it offensive because you're what we call a fucking race baiter. That's all this is. You want to become relevant, so you do your crying and you want to become relevant. So let's go on.
The language festers. When ignorance and bigotry is allied with power, it is a dangerous force in our country. Your silence and your amnesia is complicity.
Bigotry? Really? Are you really that much of a race baiter? Bigotry. A country that is actually a shithole, he called a shithole. That's bigotry?
Right now in our nation, we have a problem. I don't know if 73% of your time is spent on white supremacist hate groups.
White supremacist hate groups. Can you name one? Could you be more race baiting? Seriously? And the way you're picking on this woman? What? Did you take people's lunch money in school? You're a fucking bully. Would you like someone talking to your mother that way?
I don't know if 73% of your time is spent concerned about the people in fear in communities in this country. Sikh Americans, Muslim Americans, Black Americans.
I don't know. I'm not seeing much fear in Black Americans or Muslim Americans. I don't know much about Sikhs. You don't hear much about what they're in fear of. I think they're in fear of other Muslims, but it doesn't look like the Muslims are really that scared, or the blacks. I mean, could you burn a flag like that in Haiti or in Afghanistan or Iran, Iraq, any of the Muslim countries? I don't think you could. These guys are standing right up to the cops. They don't look scared at all. Imagine this in Iran. You'd be shot. They're destroying a cop car. They'd be killed in most countries for doing this. They don't look very scared to me. It seems like the only person that is really scared, it's you, Booker. It's you. You seem really scared. Black people don't seem that scared. But you're race baiting and stirring the pot.
The fact pattern is clear of the threats in this country. I hurt. When Dick Durbin called me, I had tears of rage when I heard about this experience in that meeting. And for you not to feel that hurt and that pain.
I felt tears of rage. You need some fucking testosterone. Seriously, if the president calls a country, Haiti, which is a shithole, and it made you have tears of rage, you need to check your testosterone level. You're either the biggest wimp in the world, or you definitely need some acting lessons because you don't really think you're here.
And to dismiss some of the questions of my colleagues, saying I've already answered that line of questions when tens of millions of Americans are hurting right now because of what they're worried about what happened in the White House.
Actually, the economy on its upward spiral, blacks and whites alike are feeling better about everything now financially than they have for decades. And the only people that are really stressed out and worried are because there's so many race baiters and violent Democrats trying to stir the pot because they hate Trump. Even though he's creating jobs and the economy's booming, there's more blacks that like Trump now than ever. It's gone up like 3 times, men and women. So they're not really that scared. You're just trying to stir the pot and be a race baiter. And it's people like you that make people in fear, okay? That comment he meant would have just, that he made, oh, it's a shithole. Nobody would have even thought twice about it if people like you didn't make such a big deal about it.
That's unacceptable to me. There are threats in this country. People plotting. I receive enough death threats to know the reality.